Orúkọ mi ni Chief Mrs. Safari Ogunade Olubando, the Iyalode of Surulere. It will be a surprise for you to be seeing me here because I'm living in the boundary of Mushin and Surulere. So whatever they are doing in Mushin, to my own personality, I must be there. Whatever belongs to APC is a pride to me. So that is why you are seeing me here. Our brother, our daughter, Honorable Oladejo'S, he is going for House of Reps, and he has been a long time chairman of Mushin local government. He is the public relations officer of APC, so on and so on. And he has been doing well in all the appointments that he has done. So by this, I have to be the part of support. Whatever he's doing, I'm there, and I will always be there. Because we need someone like him that will be representing us in Abuja and which will done well for us. I don't have much to say about Sheye. Everybody knows him well.
So thank you, Babatunde Odile, fondly called Papa. We thank you. Well, the long-awaited moment is here. Gentlemen of the press, this is what we want to capture before we leave. Let's welcome this scene of a great family.
My party. Your party. APC. My party. APC. Your party. APC. Our party. Sherry, our lórí minimum more control also. Ọlọ́run àgbáyé, àwọn ni wẹ́wẹ́ rẹ̀, ìwọ gbẹ̀gbẹ̀lé láì rajẹ̀ ojú òbí wá. Yes. We give all the glories to Almighty God for a day like this. But for the purpose of the formal declaration, I'd like to read my speech. And I want to enjoin us all to be attentive. This is the moment we have been waiting for. Now my declaration speech. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge, even though it's not in our midst, the leader of the progressive family in Nigeria, the national leader of all Progressive Congress, the only man in our lifetime in the history of democracy in Nigeria, that has led the opposition to defeat the ruling party and install President Muhammadu Buhari for the past 8 years as president of our nation, a man who has paid more than his dues to enthrone democracy in our country, the man of every moment, the recording decimal in Nigerian politics, Jagaban, Asiwaju, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The number one man in Lagos State government, the number one APC member in our state, our pride, the reason why we are all proud to be called APC members, the reason why we can all take the gospel of APC to every nook and crannies and corners of our state, the man who has brought development, the man who has brought Lagos State back on the path of development. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together to the governor of the state of excellence, Governor Oladejo'S. In that same vein, I want to acknowledge my leader, the pathfinder, the man who gave me the first breakthrough politically in government, the apex leader of our dear party, All Progressive Congress in Mushin local government and Oladejo'S SCD. Some Senator Oladejo'S Solomon. By that token, I recognize all members of the Governance Advisory Council in Nigeria, party and states, Bale Omonigbeyin and his chiefs, Bale Karole Mokinyo, Ishefasleyiwa. Asi Olori Mono Mokeyino. I recognize my sister, my very dear sister, the former Commissioner for Education and Commerce, Industry and Cooperative, and now the Vice Chairman, Lagos East of our dear party, All Progressive Congress, Barrister Oladejo'S. You're welcome. By that same token, I recognize all my colleagues in the State ESCO, all of them without exception, from Mushin himself to the auditor, to my deputy secretary, to Ebon Sanwo-Olu, of course, to Katako himself, all our distinguished members that are present, and of course to my dear sister, Honorable Kehinde Ajini Babalola, Deputy State Member. You're all welcome to this very important location. I recognize the local government chairman of our party in Oladejo'S SCD, Alhaji Ismail Babatunde, the entire Igbo community. I recognize you, Igbo Kwen, Ozenu, our father and leader, former chairman of Mushin local government, Apostle Babatunde Odile. You're welcome, sir. I want to recognize Elder Edward Longe, a very important leader in our local government, who I can say today formally brought me into politics. He represented here today by Honorable Jami Olanju, who is the chairman of Unity Forum, Mushin local government. You're welcome. The Arewa community, you're all welcome. The Nupe community, the president Lakota Alhaji Nuruddin Buhari, and of course, the local government chairperson of Laskota. My own chairman, Alhaji Kolawole Taiwo, you are recognized. I recognize our youth, female youth population. Hey, Nigerian youth! God bless you. I recognize my very dear brother, Alhaji Bola JBC. You're welcome, sir. I recognize all my colleagues in the media who have been very supportive since I declared my interest in this race. God bless you all. And of course, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, I cannot but acknowledge the role of our leader, our mentor, our destiny helper. When the opposition calls him the godfather, we call him our mentor. We call him our destiny helper. We call him the man who has sacrificed so much for our democracy to be. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together once again for Shiwaju of the universe, the incoming president, inshallah, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2023. On behalf of my family, friends, associates, political team, and well-wishers, I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of you for creating the time to participate in these historic events of my declaration to contest for Mushin 2 Constituency in the House of Representatives in the year 2023 general elections. The platform of our party, the All Progressive Congress, APC. John F. Kennedy, in his inaugural address as President of the United States of America on January 20, 1961, asked, and I quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country," end of quote. Kennedy's inaugural address to date has continued to inspire people to see the importance of public service for development of their community, state, and nation. Since the historic statement by John F. Kennedy, there have been records of great men and women who have distinguished themselves in public office, especially in Nigeria. And I, Honorable Oluwaseye, Olaniran, Oladejo, is part of those people who have been privileged to have a platform to serve, distinguish themselves in public service and political party organization in Mushin local government area in particular and Lagos State at large. Since the return of Nigeria to the democratic path on May 29, 1999, Mushin local government area has one of the reference councils in Lagos politics. There is no way we can review the political history of Lagos State in the last 22 years of this present Fourth Republic and 61 years of Nigeria's independence without making reference to Mushin and the political giants from the local government. Mushin has produced many great men and women who have distinguished themselves at the federal, state levels by writing their names in gold in politics and governance. Among the prominent politicians produced by Mushin is the first civilian governor of Lagos State, late Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, who I think should put our hands together for, AKJ, who in death remains a reference point in good governance. The Second Republic Commissioner for Transport and former member, Governors Advisory Council, GAC, His Royal Highness, Oba Oladejo'S Hamzat. At this point in time, I want to request that we all observe a minute silence in honor of Kabiyesi. Let's take 1 minute silence in honor of His Royal Highness Oba Oladejo'S Hamzat, a prominent leader not only in Mushin but in Lagos State in general. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dìde ìṣẹ́jú kan fún bàbá wa. May Almighty Allah continue to rest him in Nigeria and protect his household and everything he left behind. Let us be seated. Thank you. His Royal Highness discovered, nurtured, and mentored me in politics. I also want to acknowledge an influential politician, the Lagos State Vice Chairman of the defunct Unity Party of Nigeria (UPA), Alhaji Rafiu Shola Solomon, whose influence vibrated across the length and breadth of Lagos State. His son and my leader, Senator Oladejo'S Solomon, GoldmyneTV, a former Mushin local government chairman, honorable member of the House of Representatives, and a two-term member of the Senate, and of course a principal officer. He gave me my first breakthrough in government when he appointed me as the secretary to the local government. He remains a destiny helper. I was indeed an unusual secretary of the local government with so much power, courtesy of the free hand of my boss. And of course, our own Honorable Mushin Salvador, a former member of the House of Representatives, who rose to become the chairman of the political party in the state. Mushin local government holds a vantage position in Lagos politics as one of the 4 councils with 2 representatives in the lower chamber of the National Assembly. In the last 22 years, Mushin 2 Federal Constituency was represented by Honorable Segun Damiro of blessed memory, Honorable Gani Hamzat, and the incumbent, Honorable Bolaji Yusuf Ayila, who is serving his second term, having served 3 terms as a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. I wish to commend them all for their material service to Mushin Federal Constituency 2 in the last 22 years. As a man who is passionate about public service, I am inspired by the courage and achievements of all the leaders who have charted the path of development for Mushin 2 Federal Constituency. I have decided that the great American President John F. Kennedy not to continue to wait for what my constituency, state, and country can do for me, but to challenge myself on what to do for my constituency, state, and country. When I look back at my experience in the public sector, I realize that God has prepared me for this moment. In the last 23 years, I have contributed immensely to party politics and governance, not only in Mushin local government area, but Lagos State at large. I have also been an active participant in local and state politics for almost 3 decades, serving in different positions. I displayed leadership traits at an early age, serving meritoriously as the library prefect in my secondary school, at Bishop Age Memorial Secondary School in Mushin. To the glory of God, I am declaring my aspiration for the House of Representatives in the school compound today. I was an active participant during my undergraduate days at Great Ife, the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. I served as the president of my departmental session, Ife Varsity Literary and English Studies Society. I also contested and won an election into the office of the Secretary General of the University of Ife Students' Union, 1985-86 at 19 years of age. As the Secretary General, I was the engine room of the Students' Union government. I took care of the general administration and coordinated activities geared towards the rights and welfare of students and the pro-democracy programs in the early days of the military intervention into governance. This, no doubt, came with the sacrifices, with incessant harassment by state agents, and at times outright incarceration. My involvement in the democratic struggle prepared me for the bigger challenge of politics, with its unpredictability and uncertainties. After graduating from the University of Ife, I had my 1-year National Youth Service Corps NYSC scheme in Yola, in then Gongola State, where I won the state award for outstanding service. As a young man who was ready to contribute to society through qualitative service delivery, I worked at the Directorate of Mass Mobilization, Menta, Daily Times of Nigeria, and Goldmyne Media. It was during this period that I cut my teeth in media practice and public engagement. I believe you are allowed to clap generously for me. Thank you very much. In my quest to render service to my community, I picked my tent with the progressives and served in different capacities on the platform of the Alliance for Democracy AD. I was at different times the World Secretary for World AD in World H1 and later the Party Policy Secretary in Mushin local government area. I also contested and won an election as the Executive Chairman of Mushin local government area in 2004 after serving as the Secretary to the local government. My tenure as the chairman of Mushin local government was not deterred by the insensitive and malicious seizure of the monthly allocations of local governments in Lagos State by the Oluwaseye government. I need to give kudos to our national leader, Tinubu, who showed unprecedented leadership as the governor to ensure the sustainability of local government councils in the state. In addition to the platform provided by Tinubu, I also did excellent work while in office as the manager of human and material resources. During my tenure as the chairman of Mushin local government area, I, among others, constructed several roads and drainages with available resources. I also imparted on the education sector with the rehabilitation of primary schools, provision of desks, benches, and books for the pupils. Primary healthcare centers in local governments were equipped and rehabilitated. My administration also established new health centers at Alvi Street, Ogunbaye Street, and Ijesha Road, as well as embarking on social intervention programs by supporting the aged, widows, and other vulnerable people. A major and impactful highlight of my administration was the provision of 165 boreholes across the local government. Some of these projects are still in use 15 years after. Having distinguished myself at the local government level, I was promoted to the state after completing my tenure as the chairman of Mushin local government. I worked for 2 governors for 8 years. I was special advisor for commerce and industry in the cabinet of Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola between 2011 and 2015. And I also served as the commissioner for special duties and intergovernmental relations during Governor Akinwumi Ambode administration from 2015 to 2019. The highlight of my service in the state cabinet during my stewardship in the Fashola administration included the inauguration of the informal sector to enhance productivity through the skilling of master assistants, exposing them to modern technologies, and providing the needed tools to boost the sector. The strong presence of artisans at this event, ably led by the President, Oladejo'S Buhari, and the Mushin local government chairperson, Oluwaseye, is an eloquent testimony to the faith. My ministry also supervised the operations of the Lekki Free Trade Zone, which led to, among others, the establishment of the Dangote refinery, which is nearing completion, and the Dangote Fertilizer Company. The ministry also facilitated the establishment of the industrial park, where the motorized mill is located, the Lekki Airport, Agri Dry Sea Port. The Lagos Protection Agency was also under my direct supervision before it became a full-fledged agency. As the Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, I managed emergency services in Lagos State. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, was rebranded during my tenure with the state-of-the-art equipment, professional personnel, and decentralized for efficient service delivery. The reorganization led to the construction of LASEMA rescue centers at Epe, Lekki, Ikorodu Road, and Kappa. It also led to the synergy among the various government agencies, Fire Service, Neighborhood Watch, Nigerian Police Force, and the Ambulance Service, among others, in rescue operations in the state. The emergency toll-free numbers also became more efficient. The Lagos State Neighborhood Corps was also rebranded for efficiency, retrained and equipped to meet the challenge of modern times. I also supervised Nigerian Legion, paramilitary bodies like the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, and the development agenda for Western Nigeria. It is also imperative to know that hundreds of young graduates from Mushin local governments were also gainfully employed by the state government during my tenure of office. Based on my experience in communication and media relations, the Lagos State chapter of All Progressive Congress (APC) fished me out and elected me as the party's publicity secretary in 2019. The spokesman of the ruling party in the last 2 years. I received my emergence as an opportunity to give back to the party that has given so much to me. Within the short period of my assumption of office as a spokesperson of Lagos APC, the information machinery of the party became invigorated as a result of my years of experience in the media, party politics, and government. I was able to successfully leverage on this to respond effectively and professionally to burning issues in politics and governance. As the policy secretary of the ruling party, the opposition was unable to overwhelm APC with needless criticism and propaganda. It is of note that the policy office of the Lagos APC Secretariat in Akme, Ikeja, has remained accessible, informative, and efficient in delivering on its mandate. For over 2 decades, I can confidently report, with every sense of modesty that I have proved beyond reasonable doubt, that I am someone to be trusted with public office. I have shown capability, accountability, and transparency in service at local and state levels. I have also served my party passionately at local and state levels. Now, I believe it is time for me to yield to the clarion call of my constituents, calling on me to represent Mushin 2 Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives on the platform of my party, the All Progressive Congress. My decision to throw my hand to the ring for the House of Representatives contest was because I believe strongly that I will be useful to my constituents in the lower chamber of the National Assembly for qualitative representation. My main promise to the people of Mushin 2 Federal Constituency, if given the opportunity to represent them at the lower chamber, is to provide and guarantee qualitative, discerning, visible and results-oriented representation for my constituency. I will also leverage on my experience of the best hands of the Mushin 2 Federal Constituency to provide the desired representation in every sense of the word. As a Democrat and firm believer in the rule of law, if given the opportunity to represent Mushin 2 Federal Constituency and the House of Representatives, I will collaborate with other colleagues in the National Assembly to review some of the laws that have remained a clog in the US march towards true federalism to engender progress, unity, and fair play. I assure you that if I'm elected as a member of the House, I am going to be an active legislator. I will also contribute my quota to the growth and development of our dear Lagos State and Nigeria. I will do this and many other great things to fulfill my part of the social contract with the people and collaborate with other arms of government to bring unquantifiable benefits to our people. I have invited you here today to join me in the journey to take Mushin 2 Federal Constituency to a great height and qualitative representation in line with my party manifesto. I present myself as a capable, courageous, competent, and tested hand to make Mushin 2 Federal Constituency greater to all my constituents. And I declare as I, Oluwaseye, Olaniran, Oladejo'S, shall be a true party man and a true representative of my constituents in the National Assembly. I am sending a clarion call to our leaders, our party men and women, youths and elderly market men and women, that there is a lot of work to be done to achieve Mushin 2 Federal Constituency of our dream. To come out to vote for it during our party primaries election that I can emerge as the party flag bearer. Long live All Progressive Congress, long live Lagos State, long live Mushin local government, long live Mushin Federal Constituency 2. Thank you all for listening. On a final note, I need to commend us all for the peaceful nature of this declaration. We are sending the right message to everyone in the state and Nigeria that Mushin local government is a very peaceful local government. We are not unmindful of tantrums, innuendos, and provocations in the social media and everywhere. I want to urge all my supporters to remain peaceful and to tell our opponents, so to say, that we should play the game according to the rules. Especially to all our council leaders and my colleagues in the state expo who have found the time to come and follow me here today. That is sending the right message to my constituents that I'll be your very good team at the state level. Otherwise, they won't be here today. Please, let's put our hands together. Thank you very much. I thank you all, and I give kudos to all our leaders, the Bale, the Mayegun, the Igbo community, the Hausa community, and everybody. Thank you very much. Tobale Kusiwa. Tobale Kusiwa. All right. Oshobalaye.
Side attraction.
Aṣíwájú Ahmed Tinubu ẹ bá mi kọ ní àtàtà English ni o. Wọ́n wá ti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó fún àtìlẹ́yìn wọn. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn àdúgbò náà council Lagos State gbogbo ọ̀nà wọ́n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọdé àti àgbà tí ẹ wá síbí lẹ́yìn wípé ẹ ṣe àdúpẹ́ o ojú òní tì yí o òkèlè máa lè nírẹ̀lẹ̀. Wọ́n wá ti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ APC pápá jùlọ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Mushin àti gbogbo alọ́gbọ́lọ́gba baálẹ̀ ọkọ̀ ìlú gbogbo ẹ̀yìn Ìgbò Haúsá gbogbo ìlú wọn dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. Wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésí ayé wọn ilé ìwé tí wọ́n lọ bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe ní ilé ìwé ọ̀nàrẹ́bù eléyìí kàwé wọ́n lọ sáàfù ní ilẹ̀ Haúsá lọ́hùn wọ́n ṣe dáadáa wọ́n tún joyè wọ́n tún bọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n dé wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ òṣèlú yìí wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ náà bàbá wa the first governor senior governor in Lagos State bàbá wa Jákàndé tó jẹ́ pé òun ló fi ọ̀nà òṣèlú yàn wọ́n láì gbàgbé bàbá wa kábíyèsí àná bàbá wa Amsat wọ́n sì dìde ìṣẹ́jú kan fún wọn kí Ọlọ́run kó tẹ̀ wọ́n sí afẹ́fẹ́ rẹ̀ o. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ náà bàbá wa bàbá tó bí Solomon Gani Ọláníwájú Solomon ìgbé àwọn náà ṣe. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ náà bàbá wa Gani Solomon ó ti gọ́ọ̀sì àbí ọ̀gọ́ọ̀sì gbọ́ọ̀sì ọgọ́ọ̀sì àbí ọ̀gọ́ọ̀sì. Wọ́n wá dúpẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe gan. Wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ wọ́n ti iṣẹ́ ní oríṣiríṣi wọ́n ti iṣẹ́ ní litres wọ́n ti iṣẹ́ ní ìlú tó ti lówó wọn ò sì jíwọ́ mi tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ orúkọ wọn ò bàjẹ́ kókó ni wípé wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ òṣèlú wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò òṣèlú yìí láti fi sẹ́kítì ní wọ́ọ̀dù wọn wọ́n tún ṣe akọ̀wé ní Mushin local government ẹ̀yìn tí Mushin ẹ̀fọ́ ní àtàwọn tó jiná o. Wọ́n tún wá ṣe chairman ní Mushin local government owó òsì sọnù lásìkò tiwọn yìí náà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n tún wá ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ní Aláùsá bẹ́ẹ̀ yọ̀ọ́ bá lọ sí Aláùsá tí òun rákọ̀ọ́bá ọlọ́wọ́ bá ní ẹ̀fọ́ ní àtàwọn tó jiná ẹ̀dẹ́kù. Wọ́n tún wá ṣe kọmíṣánná gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí wọ́n ṣe nípa ilé omi títì tí wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ìlànà ẹ̀jẹ̀rìsì àbí ẹ̀jẹ̀rìsì òwúrì àbí mi òwúrì. Wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ ìyá ò lè jáwọ́ mọ́ àwọn ilé àkùtà jìyà bí àbá lájú síbi tá a jẹ́rí sí. You know no person. If you know person, ẹ bá mi pé Ṣèyí Ọládẹ̀jọ if you know person. Ó ṣẹ̀yẹ, ó ṣe kéde. Ẹ gbọ́n sọ́dọ̀ ó ṣẹ̀yẹ, ó ṣe kéde. Abuja 2003, where are you going? Abuja State. Wọ́n ti wọ́n fi ara hàn báyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí òdìdódìpò láti máa lọ sí house of wọn kú ẹnikẹ́ni o. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi àti ìwọ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n tẹ̀lé.
Abuja 2023 yẹn Oluwaseye lẹ́ẹ̀kan mọ̀ kankan Ṣèyí Ọládẹ̀jọ ojúṣe olúre ìlọsíwájú ni ìlọsíwájú fi jẹ́ kí látẹ̀lé lọ Abuja 2023 yẹn ìlọsíwájú gbẹgbẹrẹ táwọn ọ̀tá ń gbà lórí àwọn ọmọ ọmọ wa fi ké lágbára Ọlọ́run wájú wájú ẹ̀ máa lọ ẹ̀ nílé rẹ̀ ìbáyọ̀.
On your mind, you shall stand. On your mind, you shall stand. On your mind, you shall stand. National anthem. Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause. Guide thou our leaders right, help the youths the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow and live in just and truth. Grace lofty height attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. APC! Thank you. APC!
My name is Honorable Oluwaseye Olaniran Oladejo, presently the spokesman of APC in Lagos State, now an aspirant for the Federal House of Reps seat for Mushin Constituency 2 in the coming elections. I'm glad you spoke about experience. Serving at the national level should require someone with the needed experience at various levels, party, government, someone who has an understanding of his constituents and their peculiar needs, and someone who understands the real fears of our youths as regards unemployment, education, insecurity, healthcare, and the rest of it. And our constituency feel that at a time like this, we need to send some of our best hands forward to also represent us in the committee of people who are also some of the best hands in other constituents for us to be able to compete, to contribute to our quota, to make the required laws that will make life more meaningful for our people, to be able to bring in the proverbial dividend of democracy at the end of the tenure. This is what it's all about. And as you can see during this declaration rally, there's a strong clamor by people for me to throw my hand to the ring and run for the coming elections. I understand this constituency. I rose from this constituency. I can say I'm part of the masses. I know their fears. I know their apprehension. I know their expectation. I know the kind of times that we are. I know that you won't find many households in Nigeria, especially my constituents, that you don't have people who have issues of employment, who have issues of poverty, who have issues of poor health care, who have issues of what the future holds. And I believe, based on my experience at this level and at the state level, with all these experiences, I'm in the best position to really address those fears by not only making laws, by ensuring that we put things in place to take care of our people, to give them hope of a better tomorrow, and to be their representative and live up to the billing according to our manifesto and according to the expectations of a progressive party. Well, from what you can see, we are not necessarily just working towards consensus. You can see that we have mobilized from everywhere. Indigenous, non-Yoruba speaking people, the youths, the artisans, the marketmen and women. From what you saw here today, it's like the election is holding tomorrow. So if at the end of the day you march by consensus, I'm very sure nobody's going to start talking about imposition. And from what you can see, whoever wants to throw his hands to the ring now to run in that election against me will really need to think twice. And this is a reflection of acceptability. This is a reflection of the confidence that our people have in me. This is a reflection of the trust they have in my ability to deliver. I just don't talk. I do whatever I say, and I try my best to live up to the expectation. So it's a good thing we had this kind of rally. This kind of rally is what I'll call a test of strength. So we dare whoever wants to run too, to do an open declaration like this and mobilize.
And I can also assure you that even nature concord signed up on this. We have a good weather, and that's to tell you that God is with us in every sense of the word. It's a major germane issue that has to be brought to the front burner. If you observe during my speech, I raised issues about some federal issues that have been of concern to us, that have made it look as if we're not having a fair deal in the federation, because the SCDs are overdue to be listed. And you find some states who are not really bringing much to the Commonwealth, having so many local governments, and revenue allocation is shared according to population, local governments, hospital beds, and the rest of it. So Lagos is not having its fair share of this. We can work and collaborate with other legislators from that part of the country for them to see reasons that we shouldn't abandon the goose that laid the golden egg. Lagos deserves a better deal in the Nigerian Federation. These are issues that are germane, which everybody is clamoring for, which I believe every reasonable legislator will also want to reason with us. So we need to work hard to address this and many other issues.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.